Yeah, pause the recording a bit. Few people.
Or we have to wait for a couple of minutes, no? Namaste, everyone. My name is Mahesh. I'm a student of, I'm a student in this Bhagavad Gita class. I'm here to have great pleasure to introduce our Guruji, Dr. Jayakumar Srinivasan ji. Dr. Jayakumar ji got his he's a chemical engineer degree. He did his undergraduate in IIT Madras, and then he did his master's and PhD from Purdue University in the US. And later he worked for 25 plus years in the chemical industry in a large chemical company. While in the US, he was attracted to the teachings of Pujya Swamiji Dayananda Saraswati ji, and also the Advaita Vedanta. So he has been learning Advaita Vedanta since 1996. So after his PhD, he worked for a little while in Chicago, then he was in Houston for a while, then he moved to Ohio, in Columbus, Ohio. While in Houston, I met him. That's where I met Jayakumarji. In Houston, he started Vedanta and Sanskrit classes for both children and adult. And he also started religion classes for elementary school to high school students in Meenakshi Temple in Pearland near Houston. And those classes are still ongoing. And this is since 2001. In 2010, he was selected for the Akhil Chopra Unsung Hero Award for his work in Vedanta and other activities. He co-founded India History Awareness Research while in Houston, and later on he went to Columbus, Ohio, and then he worked for a few years. Then in 2015, he returned back to India for good to care for his senior parents. And while in Coimbatore, he moved to Coimbatore. He now lives in Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu. And while in Coimbatore, he attended a 2-year residential course in Vedanta in Arshavidya Gurukulam in Anikatti near Coimbatore. And he has been teaching since 2018. And I learned Sanskrit from him. I did Tattva Bodha from him. I'm continuing to learn Bhagavad Gita and Kathopanishad. Then he founded the Arsha Seva Kendram in 2019. And there we have, it is one of the purpose was for the holistic development of underprivileged children. So that's called Arsha Gokulam. It is in Mysuru in Karnataka, there where the 70 plus students are getting education. And there are 15, he conducts several classes, several courses now under Arsha Seva Kendram. There are 15 plus faculty members, teachers, and there are about 20 plus courses. So it's a big ongoing effort. And all of these are run purely by the donation from various people, either the students, the well-wishers and other friends. Then while in while in Coimbatore, he saw, besides all this, he also teaching youth on self-identity, Hindu Dharma, nation, and civilization. So he, in 2023, basically a few months ago, he represented Arsha Vidya Gurukulam in Delhi in a round table organized by the Ministry of Culture for the purpose of a promotion of Sanatana Dharma worldwide. Jayakumarji is an excellent teacher, is an excellent communicator. He doesn't gloss over the slokas, he gets deep into its meanings and he connects with the various other shastram like other Upanishads, other scriptures. So I have great pleasure in welcoming Dr. Jayakumarji. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Mahesh ji. Om Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankaracharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. First of all, a warm welcome to some new students who have joined this short course on chapter 13. Periodically, I got some messages in the last 2 months, 3 months that they want to join the class. And so I felt that the 13th chapter, being one where there is some kind of a summary of the teachings, would be a good entry point to such new students who may have had some background in the past in our Shastra. And so that is why there are probably about 6 or 7 new students here, and they're joining the others who've been attending my classes for a while now. And I request all the students to turn your video feeds on. Generally, that's the protocol in this class. I'll tell you later on, I'll tell you reasons why I suggest that. So today what I want to do is, it's about 10 minutes past 6:30 here. And I want to give an introduction to what the Shastram is, for those of you who are somewhat new to Bhagavad Gita, etc. Okay. Then we'll talk about my expectations in this course, what can come out of this course, and then maybe some logistics clarifications. And then after the hour is over, we'd like to, normally after the hour is over, there is a satsang period where I invite questions from everybody. So that's a session that many of you stay back, but some of you cannot stay back after an hour. And that's fine. So those of you, today at least, if the new students can stay back, what we can do is we can introduce ourselves. So that's the agenda for today. So in terms of background that is needed for this class, if you wonder, generally there is no Sanskrit background needed for a course like this. At least in this course, not needed. background in Sanskrit is always useful because all shlokas are in Sanskrit. And Vedanta background is also useful, but not necessary. And since we've been doing this since 2019, November, that's when we started this Bhagavad Gita course. And we've come to the 13th chapter. So you can imagine 4 years, 12 chapters in 4 years. So you can make a guess. 13th chapter will take about 3 to 4 months probably to cover. We cover about 2 shlokas a class on an average. Okay? But you will see as we go along, you will get a feel for how we progress and how the classes are, etc. And in terms of addressing me, some of my past friends who I've known for many years, they are in my class also. They call me Jaykumarji, and many others call me Guruji. So my ashram, my teachers did not give me any instructions that they should call you this or they should call you that. This is acceptable, that's not acceptable. We didn't get any such instructions. So I don't know what to say. So I take whatever comes. But one thing I can tell you is it is not right for me to be addressed as Swamiji because in our tradition, in the Saraswati tradition, sannyasa diksha has to be given, and then after that only the person is called as Swami in our tradition. In general, sometimes they say Swami and all that. The general word is okay, but the formal use of word Swami is something that you can withhold for me. All right. I hope that clarifies. The reason I said this is 2 years ago or 3 years ago, somebody said, Swamiji, Swamiji, Swamiji. Then I realized, okay, I have to bring up this topic because there may be that question in people's minds. Okay. So now let's talk about the Shastram itself. It's actually very amazing that somebody wants to study Bhagavad Gita or the Upanishads or the Shastra. It's actually very amazing. It's highly illogical. Highly illogical. Just in case you're wondering, what did I say? Logical or illogical, right? Illogical. Okay. I'll tell you what. It's not justifiable at all. Not justifiable. You know why? Because, see, I want admission. I'm a parent. I want admission for my children. Okay. And will study of Bhagavad Gita give you that admission in a good school? It won't. It won't. I'm looking for a job. Will study of Bhagavad Gita give you that job? It won't. I've been working and I've been frustrated with my boss and I want a promotion. Will study of Bhagavad Gita give me that promotion? Guess what? It won't. I'm having all kinds of health problems because I'm 60, 70, it's, the age, with age comes all package deal, I think. And it comes, maybe these doctors are not helping me, all these multi-speciality hospitals. Maybe the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is going to deliver the goods. Only then my physical problems will all disappear. Guess what? That also will not happen. What is this? It's not going to happen. In fact, what will happen is if you sit in these classes and if you'll end up liking these classes, you'll keep sitting. And people like us, we are sitting all day. We are either studying or teaching. And guess what? One thing that will come is lower back pain. Lower back pain will come. And that's why we have students like Narayan and Meera and other yoga experts, Vijay and will teach us pranayama and all. So we have, because we need that kind of, we need experts like that to take care of us, Otherwise, we'll have all kinds of joint pains and this and that. It's endless. Allergy problems will not go away by the study of Bhagavad Gita. So, lower back pain, you will definitely get. Next, family members. If you have highly cooperative family members, you are very lucky. You are lucky. You Guinness Book of World Records mein aapka naam hum chapa denge. Okay. But that's highly unlikely. Most of the time, it's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? You've gone crazy. You're listening to some guy. This social media is just ruining people. They get attracted to people who we don't know where this guy is, what he's going to talk, nothing, and you ended up signing up for this course. Okay. This is what the family members will tell you. Typically, that's what it is. And if is the wife joined the course, then husband will feel even more jealous. This lady doesn't listen to me, but he's listening to some guy with all kinds of, it doesn't even look proper. And she's listening to him. There's a jealousy possible. Anything is possible. We Vedanta people are alive to all realities. And you also know all these things. So, and definitely it won't help you. If you don't think I'll attend this course and put it in my resume, I'm cautioning you, because I remember that when I was working, I had a meeting we had a meeting with our VP and the VP of supply chain. And so we were talking in general. He was a new person also. So we were introducing ourselves. And then when my turn came, what are your general interests? I'm interested in psychology. And I can't say Vedanta because nobody knows Vedanta in America. I can't use that word. So I said something like metaphysics, psychology and metaphysics. And this VP, Dave, he said, "Oh, we need to be careful with this guy." That's what he said. Means what? They don't want people who can see through things. They don't want. They're afraid of these kinds of. So I mean, that's the honest thing. I think he was being honest. That's when I understood. You do what you have to do. Don't ask too many questions. That's the idea. So therefore, putting this in your resume also, whether it will help you or not, I cannot guarantee. Just I keep my mouth shut here. Here also, there are many people. I live in a community here. Most people don't know what I do. So anyway, that's why I'm saying approaching the Shastram is a big surprise. We don't know how it happens, but still people come. Still Bhagavad Gita is ruling the hearts of Indians. Okay? Still the Shastram is very much there. Veda is there very much. Okay? Governing the lives of Indians directly or indirectly. Correct? Because this is the Bhumi, Karma Bhumi, Veda Bhumi. But still, why should I come to this? I'm not a, I'm working, I'm in a cosmopolitan city, I'm working in an MNC and this and that. So why should I come to a course? Well, somehow things happen. Maybe there's a Shastra Vasana coming in my own family. Parents have had this samskara. Grandparents, they're definitely Vedic Pandits. And so that samskara is there in me. So something in me says, you know what, this is all okay, but there's something more than what I'm getting. Even though my life is happy, even though everything is taken care of for me, I have to study. My life is incomplete without the study of the Shastra. That vasana comes, correct? That vasana may bring me here. Or sometimes what happens is other side. I'm happy is one side, but the other side is I am not happy. I am dissatisfied. I have a lot of things, but somehow I'm not happy. And I've been trying hard for the last 10 years. Things are not working out. And I have my in-laws are there. My in-laws make me feel like an outlaw. Okay, outlaw means not part of society, right? So what is the use if I'm not at home at home? If I don't feel at home, then that's a very sad thing. And I can feel lonely. In a world that is teeming with 8 billion plus people, I can feel lonely. Correct? And the population is increasing also, not reducing. There's no risk that we will ever be left alone. Okay, still I can feel lonely. Okay, that's the most amazing thing. Correct? It's possible. Lonely. I can be sitting in an air-conditioned bungalow, but I can feel lonely. Okay. And in India, people are there everywhere. I say India because there are some friends I know who are calling in from Scotland and all these places. And Scotland, okay, she came and visited me last week. It was nice to see her. And you walk in the street and you may not see anybody. It's not Scotland. This is somewhere in England, Aberdeen, and you may not find anybody in the street. Indians, of course, that's a different thing, but may not be able to find people. Yeah, somebody was in Scotland. She told me the same. So those places are there, but in India, it's very difficult to find such places. Unless you join hands with some of our friends and go to Srikakulam and then take a boat and then go like this, and then you'll see only trees and only this thing. 2 hours boat ride, then you see no civilization at all. Only animals and trees are there. Some old caves are there. So you have to do all these tricks in order to not see any civilization. But otherwise, civilization is teeming. It's just there. Step outside, there is people. So maybe there is that dissatisfaction. You don't need to be a CEO of a company to have a head full of challenges and problems. I need to do this. They say it's lonely at the top. They say it's lonely at the top. You know what that means? It means this CEO guy, he's used only to giving orders. Okay. He's not used to taking any orders from anybody. Okay. And so he's constantly doing this. And it's a very powerful position, no doubt. And maybe he or she has the capacity to do that. Perfect. That's fine. But then things don't happen the way the CEO wants. That's where the problem is. Things don't happen. Corona hits and everybody's confused. This guy is wondering, should I shut down my operations or what? The stress, lonely at the top. We don't have to be a CEO. We don't have to be a prime minister to have problems, emotional problems. PM. PM is, doing a lot of things for the country. We don't have to be a PM. We just have to be an NP, normal person. No PM, just NP is enough. Normal person to just be a head full of conflicts. Somebody told me, I am all over the place. I am all over the place. Correct? Why I am all over the place? Direction ledu. I don't have any direction. I don't know where I'm going. These kinds of feelings a normal person also can be. That is the definition of normalcy. Okay? And so with all this, somehow or the other, we end up coming to study the Shastra. Somehow. That's why I said it's a miracle. Because Dharma, Artha, and Kama, these are the only three things we look for in life. Artha is security. Kama is pleasure. Once security is guaranteed, then pleasure follows. I want to have fun. I want to have a little fun. I want to go for a picnic. I want to see this waterfalls. I want to go with my family. It's all Kama. Then Dharma, of course, is there, comes along with what we do. Anybody who wants to be truthful in life will be following Dharma. It's not easy to do that. Not easy at all. And so the Dharma comes along. These are the only three things in our lives. Majority of our lives. There is another Purushartha called Moksha. Moksha, correct? Am I audible? Yeah, good. Moksha. Moksha is nowhere in the radar. Yet, every song, every classical music song, every Meera bhajan you listen to, Moksha ke बारे में बात करते ही हैं. You are my end and all they say. मुझे तू मिल गया. Correct? Okay, this is what they say. Oh, and then तू मिल गया, कौन मिल गया, nothing is clear. Nothing is clear. So sooner or later I get pushed into a corner and then maybe pushed into a corner. And so I end up, somebody says, come to this class, Swamiji is coming to town and you should come here. And then I end up somewhere and then I end up in some place, some community I end up. Okay. Fine. So that moksha purushartha, What is moksha? Word moksha heard. But what is moksha? Not clear at all. God heard. Bhakti seen with my eyes, but not clear. Never had time to pursue all these things. Okay. Finally, it's the time for Shastram comes. And in fact, Arjuna was in the same situation. Same, whatever I described. In fact, Arjuna had no problems, no material issues. He was wealthy. He had all the resources. Highly resourceful person, highly resourceful family. But unfortunately, in the forest. Now, what is this thing about our itihasas, Ramayana and Mahabharata? These people are always going to forest, and the entire story is all in forest. Rama spent 14 years in the forest. These people, Pandavas, end up in 13 or 12 years in the forest. Something about this forest, I think, about Indian culture, I don't know. But I tell you, these two itihasas have ruled the hearts of Indians. Okay? They have the entire psyche of India, Sanatana Dharma is encapsulated in these two itihasas. Okay, the values of ahimsa and compassion, dhanam and kripa, etc. Everything is there in these itihasas. And Arjuna had no problem at all. He was the greatest warrior of the times, and he ended up getting pushed, denied a kingdom. Denied a kingdom. This guy can single-handedly. Everybody knows Arjuna is the greatest, and still he is kicked out. Kicked out of where he ought to be. Okay? And still it has to come to this battlefield before he recognizes, oh my God, I'm confused. I'm confused. Look at that. It takes so many decades to accept that I am confused. Tishyasteham. Karpanya doshopahata swabhavaha. Prichhami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha. Yachreyasyam nishchitam bruhitan me. Karpanya dosha, he says, hey, I have, my hands are all weak and I'm supposed to be the most number one in this country and still I can't even stand. My bow and arrow is just slipping from my hands. What's wrong with me? There is something really wrong with me. And I know what it is. It's called Karpanya dosha. That's what he says. These are all Arjuna's words. Karpanya dosha. And so, Kripana means miser, a miser. I feel miserly. Means what? I have a lot in me, but it's not available for me. Not available. Wealthy person, he can feed the entire community every day for the rest of his life, but not one paisa comes out of his pocket. Miser, same thing. Arjuna is describing his situation like. And so, Shishyasteham. Suddenly he says, I want to be your student. Where did the student idea come to Arjuna, It has been around. So, suddenly he says, student. So everybody gets that moment. Yeah, I have to study. I have to spend a little time on this. Some quality time I must spend. So that's how Arjuna also came to this Shastram. And that is how we are benefiting from that teaching, correct? And we use this word Shastram all the time. What is Shastram? Shasana trayate iti Shastram. Shasanam means like governance, Shasan bolte hain Hindi mein, Shasan. That same word, root Shas is there in the Shastra. Same word, okay? Shasan. So the one who does Sashan by teaching us, one who does Sashan by teaching us and thereby protecting us, Trayate protects. Mam pahi, mam trahi, they say, trahi means to protect. So by commanding us, by giving us the truths that we need and thereby protecting us, such a thing is called Shastram. Shastra. So often referred to the Vedas. Veda is our primary Shastram and it is called Shruti. Shruti. When we use the word Shruti, we are only referring to the Vedas. Shruti, that which has been heard for ages and ages. Heard means what? That which is not authored by any human being. That's the meaning of hearing. Not authored. What is authored also can be heard, but here nobody, no rishi has authored any of the mantras that are there in the Vedas. They themselves say, we've heard this. We've heard this means what? We did not author it. Therefore, the Shruti is called Apaurusheyam. Apaurusheyam. Paurusheyam means Purushat idam. Purushasya idam. That which is a product of a human mind is called Paurusheyam. That which is not a product of a human mind is called Apaurusheyam, referred to the Vedas. Just some technical words I'm introducing. Just basics. These are all basics. Okay. Apaurusheyam. And then there is the other scriptures. Bhagavad Gita, is it Shruti? Is it Apaurusheyam? If you ask me, I will say it is not Apaurusheyam because it is written by Veda Vyasa. We know who the author of Bhagavad Gita is. Even though those are Krishna's words in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna Krishna dialogue, still it is written by Veda Vyasa. The minute a human being's mind is involved, then the output loses its status of being a Shruti, even though the message conveyed in the Bhagavad Gita is exactly the message that is there in the Vedas. And therefore, what is that called? It is called Smriti. Smriti, Mr. Mr Dhatu, memory, comes from Mr. Remember, comes from Mr. So, it is remembered. The human mind has recalled some ideas and then presented, maybe created some new ideas, but based on using the mind, therefore called Smriti. Therefore, we say Shruti Smriti Purananam. Okay, so all these are together called Shastram because Bhagavad Gita has the same message that the Upanishads has and the Karma Kanda also has. I use the word Karma Kanda suddenly. What is that if you ask? Well, Vedas can be broadly divided into two. One is called Karma Kanda, other is called Jnana Kandam. Karma Kanda is the science of all the dharma and karma. Dharma and karma. Karma means what? Let's talk karma first. Karma means all the rituals that are there comes from the Vedas. Rituals for anything and everything. The Veda knows this guy is an artharthi. This guy wants security. This guy is a kamarthi. He wants kama. He wants to live a happy life also. Simply having security, but then constantly being busy. Busy 24 hours of the day, no time to spend with the family, no time to spend with children. What kind of a life that is? So joy you have to have everything in life. And so that artha and kama that Vedas will give. If I go and say, I want more wealth. I want children. I'm unable to have children. Yeah, Vedas can help me there. Okay, because children are not there. What to do? And biologically, everything is all right, but children are not being born. Why? Nobody knows why. Even doctors don't know why. Vedas will come and say, yeah, with Shraddha, if you do these things, you will have a child. Guarantee given by the Vedas. So like this, anything and everything I want. Or I can say, I've got all the wealth I want. I've got all the family. I'm now the king of this huge kingdom. I want to secure my life in the future. Right? Future, because I know I'm going to die. And I know I'm going to have another birth. Instead of asking for moksha, what this guy does is he says, I want to be an even bigger king, not in this world, but in some other world. That is what our Achiketa's father, Vajashravas, does in Kathopanishad in the beautiful story we've been studying. And what is the price of securing their life in future? Give up everything that you have in this world. What a culture this is. This is the only culture. The more I read, only culture where giving up is a requirement, it seems. Almost a requirement. Holding on to will not work. They will say, what were you born with? And how, where, who's are you going to take all this with you? This is how they talk. Constantly reminding us that the hoarding and all is for what sake. So, anything and everything I want, the Vedas will give me. That is called karma kanda. But then there is something called karma kanda. You should include swarga also here. I want to go to heaven and enjoy, because this enjoyment is seems to be a fundamental need for a human being, for every animal, every being, but human being here. Okay, and so that need, I want to have that. It's later also. This life, at least, there's what kinds of problems are there, and the minute I open the door, mosquitoes are rushing in. So from the day minute the 6 o'clock in the morning onward, it's just problem, problem, problem. How I ended up here. Okay, and so at least next life, I should be having a good life. And the Shastram is promising, yeah, you will go to Swarga also. And we have a lot of belief in that. And so Swarga Prapti also is there. Sometimes we say that is moksha. Going to Swarga is moksha. Some sampradayas talk like that. Going to Vaikunta, going to Kailasa is moksha, and you will be there ever after. Yeah. Advaita Vedanta says, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Kshine Punya Martyalokam Vishanti. Hey, that, yeah, Swarga, you will go if you have that kind of punyam. If I have a loaded amount of cash, I can go all over the world. I can fly. I can book a trip with my travel agency. I can go to Germany. Then from there, I can go to Italy. I can see Italy there. I can then go to Switzerland, see the Alps. And then from there, I can fly all the way to America. And it's a huge place, America. And then all you have to do, ask your friend. They will tell you exactly where to go. And I can from there go make a long trip all the way to Bali. And by the way, before going to Bali, I also want to see the pyramids of Egypt. Yes, can do all of that. All of that. But after that, what? Nothing is left. And so I want to continue to be happy. So Swarga is a very attractive thing. All religions talk about Swarga. Perhaps Veda is the first dharma which talked about Swarga. Okay. And so, but in Advaita Vedanta, we say, that statement, Shine Punye, to do all this travel to Swarga also, you need cash. Just like you need cash here to travel all over the world in 80 days, you need cash, right? And so that cash is called Punyam. And with Punyam, you can go to Swarga also. Look at the way our rishis have thought through this. Said, yeah, another world may be there. Maybe there. Who am I to say there's no other world? Who am I to say you won't go to some other world after death? Body is dying, Atma cannot die. That is there littered all over the Vedas. Okay. In fact, even to do a Vedic karma, even to do Sandhya Vandanam, like some of us do every morning, Sandhya Vandanam, even to do Sandhya Vandanam, it gives punyam. And that Sandhya Vandanam itself cannot be done without a belief in an Atma that survives death. Okay, let me repeat what I just said. No, none of us, assuming all of us are Hindus, none of us can do any Vaidika karma without knowing that there is an Atma which is separate from the body and therefore which survives the death of the body. Correct? Minimum requirement, even a small child will tell you that. Yeah, you won't die. Body go away. You will go to heaven. Like that, the child will say. Okay. Minimum requirement. Deha vyatirikta atma asti iti. Okay. So that requirement is minimum. Therefore, Swarga is there in the life of every Indian, every Hindu, let's put it that way. And therefore, Karma Kanda. Then if you say Kshine Punya Martilokam Vishanti, you can go to Swarga, all right. But then after that, you will end up, once the Punyam cash is exhausted, you will have to come back to some other place. Krishna says Martilokam. Any world where life has to proceed, you'll have to be born and again you'll have to die. Martilokam says. And so, therefore, if somebody asks, wait a minute, is this all life is about? Just keeping on going to different places like this? If somebody asks, then that person is ready for what is called Jnana Kanda. Everything I told so far is part of Karma Kanda. Okay? And then Jnana Kanda is there. Jnana Kanda means okay, sorry. So Jnana Kanda means the section of the Vedas, which is a small section. Why small? Because Dharma, Artha, and Kama is occupying our entire life. And the Vedas knows very well this fellow is going to be busy for many, many janmas like this. It's going to be a while before he is going to come and ask, what is Bhagavad Gita? It's been there in my puja room all along. I never bothered to pick it up. Oh, there are a lot of insects. It's now insect eaten. So, which publication should I buy for this class? Bhagavad Gita booklet. Good. That's a good question to ask because there are many publications that do. Gita Press is doing great service. They've been doing it for so many years. My goodness. You look at our bookshelf and all, many books from Gita Press are there. And so, we end up with what is called Jnana Kandam. What is this Jnana Kandam if you say? Advaita Vedanta says, you are free. It's not going to say you will become free. You will become liberated in heaven. No. Right now, here and now, at this very moment, you are free. Atma is free. How is that possible? Then how come I'm depressed? How come I'm this? How come I'm that? Correct. I am depressed, I am this, I am that because I don't know that I'm free. I don't know that I'm liberated. I don't know the Atma that is free. I have taken my body to be equal to Atma. I have taken my mind to be equal to Atma. Whatever happens is in my mind is me. Whatever happens to my body is me. Shastra will say, look, it's all right to say body is short, therefore I am short. Body is fat, therefore I am fat. Body is lean, therefore I am thin. Shankaracharya uses this word, Krishoham, Gauroham, Langoham. He says, I am lame. Shankaracharya, these are Shankaracharya's words. Okay. And there are qualities of the body. They are not your qualities, your qualities. The owner of this body. Body doesn't know it is fat. Body does not even worry that it is fat. When did the body tell me that you have to worry about this stuff? And you're no, body doesn't know anything. Body is jadam. But the attributes of the jada vastu have been superimposed on me, the real me. And so that's what the Jnana Kanda is going to say. It's going to say. And if you ask how, then that how, the answer to that how becomes the teaching. It gets translated into Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam. Those are the three things that Yajnavalkya tells in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad when Maitreyi asks him, why, how can you leave this kingdom which is prosperous? Where there are no problems, you are the unrivaled kingdom in the entire universe. And you say you're leaving this. I think I know. She even guesses. She says, I think I know. Because you have never been unhappy, because this kingdom, is the best kingdom. This is a model kingdom. And still you want to leave. That means you know that where you're going to is going to give you even more happiness than what you're getting here. She makes a correct guess. She guesses very well. And Yajnavalkya says, yes. Are Maitri. He addresses her, Are Maitri. That's true. You're right. That's what he says. Then she says, if that is the case, I'm also happy. I have no problems here. But if that is the case, I want you to teach me what that is. Look at that. Mumukshutvam has come. Readiness to say, yeah, I'm ready to go for something beyond this material world. Beyond a world. Material world is required for us. Food is material only. People say materialistic. We are all materialistic people only. Even a sannyasi is materialist. Why? Because sannyasi also needs food, needs clothes, needs some roof on top. They're all materials only. Materialistic means purely thinking this, accumulating all these things is going to solve all my problems, is what maybe people mean by saying materialistic. Okay. So anyway, so that track takes me to what is called Jnanakanda, and it is also called Vedanta, Vedana Mantaha. Why Vedana Mantaha? Because typically these Upanishads, Jnanakanda means Upanishads, referring to Upanishads. And these Upanishads are typically towards the end of the Karma Kanda in every Veda, positionally towards the end. And also, we approach the Vedanta only after our Dharma, Artha, and Kama are satisfied or not satisfied. Moksha comes towards the end. Towards the end, right? And towards the end means what? Towards the later part of our lives. Okay, so Vedanta. And here, Upanishads, Veda, Bhagavad Gita, not in the Veda, outside the Veda. But Gita, Sugita, Kartavya, Kim Anyaihi, Shastra Vistaraihi. Okay. He says, Madhusudana Saraswati ji says, hey, Gita, Sugita, Kartavya. You make sure you study the Gita. Why worry about other Shastras? Anyaihi, Shastra Vistaraihi. Why do you have to worry about other Shastras? He says, you know why? Because the Bhagavad Gita in today's world, Bhagavad Gita has the entire Vedas encapsulated. The Jnana Kandam is there in the Bhagavad Gita in a way that you and I can follow. Vedas not easy to follow. Upanishads not easy to. Studying is not possible by oneself. And even acharyas have to study a lot before actually unfolding the Upanishads. So you may not find Upanishad teachers. But Bhagavad Gita also needs Shankaracharya's Bhashyam to understand what Bhagavad Gita says. But Vistaratvam is there. It's amplified. It's not cryptic. Upanishad statements are all cryptic. Therefore, he says Gita, Sugita, Kartavya. And therefore, Bhagavad Gita is popular among the people who want to study. Bhagavad Gita is readily accessible. And so that seeking the truth of the self, seeking the truth of God, Bhagavan, Ishvara, all that becomes a central part of this pursuit called Advaita Vedanta. Going to heaven and being with God is moksha. That's Vishishtadvaita and other schools of thought, other darshanas, they talk about that. And we say that where you can go wherever you want. We accept Vaikuntha, we accept Kailasa, we accept many other Swargas. We talk about 14 worlds, 7 upper worlds and 7 lower worlds. Okay. Everything we accept. But the minute you say going and coming, going is a result of karma, coming is a result of karma, enjoying is a result of karma, not enjoying is a result of karma. Karma is finite. Therefore, the result of karma is finite. So wherever I go, if you say that thing you got as a result of karma, then that is going to be called karma phalam. Phalam means phalgudaya liyate phalam. That which is perishable only is called phalam. Phalgudaya liyate iti phalam. Leenam means chayanam, perishing. declining. That is why constantly we have to clean up the house. Constantly you got to make sure you got to replenish your bank account. Constant. Why? Because karma phalam, salary is karma phalam, but salary dissipates. Salary dissipates. What about the body? Body, all great until I am 30 or 40 or 50 years. Then suddenly, middle age crisis. What middle age crisis? What happened? My dear friend, they say 40 years middle age crisis. Crisis middle age. Suddenly, this guy discovers what? All along, he thought life is made. Suddenly, all these doctors' visits are happening, and the children are driving me crazy. And he thought he was a boss in the office. And now he comes home like a mouse. He enters the house. He's scared of entering the house. Up there, he was a boss. Everybody was a mouse in front of him. And here he is a mouse. Because that's when all the drama starts. Middle age crisis. Anyway, so therefore, this speaking the truth becomes very important, okay, in our study here. And that's why the people of Sanatana Dharma, people of other religions are called believers. People of Sanatana Dharma are called seekers. Often you hear the word seeker. There has to be a big difference. The big difference between these two words is what? There, everything ends with belief. Here, we start with belief, no doubt. We are also believers, but the believing has to culminate in seeking. And seeking knowledge not later in this life itself. Oh, that's a big difference. So the problem is you, the solution is you. You will hear that only in Advaita Vedanta. Correct? Problem is you, solution is you. It's a huge statement, not an ordinary statement. Okay. So we're going to see all of that here in this Shastram. And it's a beautiful journey for us as we are entering the 13th chapter. And we will do one thing. We will chant this first shloka of the 13th chapter. So one of you, whoever is next, can mute. Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Prakritim Purusham Chaiva. Yeah, go ahead, Vaidya.
Prakritim Purusham Chaiva.
Kshetram Kshetrajnameva cha.
Kshetram Kshetrajnameva cha.
Etad Veditumicchami.
Etad Veditumicchami.
Jnanam Jneyam cha Keshava.
Jnanam Jneyam cha Keshava.
Yeah. So this shloka will not be there in all the books. In some books you'll have it. In other books, you will have to write the shloka down in the WhatsApp group. That shloka was sent by Devi. So you can make a note of that. So that's the introduction to chapter 13. Next class onwards, we will enter the chapter proper. And I just want to say a few words before we conclude this session. After which, those of you who want to stay back will have a more casual, we'll have a dialogue and we'll introduce each other. I want to say a few things. We'll have a 1 hour class followed by satsang. And not everybody attends satsang. So maybe, out of there are 30 people who used to attend the classes, maybe 20 will attend the satsang. So it all depends on your time commitment. And then in satsang, we cover important topics. It's all questions from you that I'm addressing, I'm responding to. So they become important questions because somebody else's question becomes my question also, right? Because if somebody else asks a question, I might think, wow, that's a good question. or I did not think of that. These are the things that happen in satsang, right? So satsang, generally I tell people, at least if you can't attend it, try and see the video recording of that session. It's a lot of value to that. Okay. Then, second point, generally try to attend the class. These days, it's possible to attend the class, not attend the class, see the video also is possible. My experience, looking at myself and looking at all of you also, is that this tomorrow I will see the video will never happen. Tomorrow never comes. That's my experience also. I also have said I will watch this Shiksha class, Soumya ji's class tomorrow, but that tomorrow never comes. Do you know why? Because our schedules are jam-packed. Jam-packed. I tell our senior citizens, my parents live in a senior citizen community and I'm with them. And so, and they're all retired, everything, and food is delivered from the kitchen. They don't even have to cook. The hall delivers food, or you can go to the hall and have food if you want. Everything is there. Temple is there. Morning, get up, go to the temple. Puja happens, group puja happens, and Abhisheka happens to Ganesha. Everything is happening. Everything is given. You can take a walk, nice walk you can have. Everything is there. But you know what? These guys are very busy, extremely busy. And they can't attend. You said 4 o'clock, shall we have? No, I'm having this, I'm doing that, I'm doing that, I'm very busy. So even retired people are busy. Don't think only working people are busy. Retired people also seem to be working, it seems. So my suggestion is try your best to attend a class. Okay. That's just an advice suggestion. Now, third point I want to mention is why I ask people to keep your video feeds on. This is a requirement in this class, by the way. It's not optional, okay? So new students may want to think about it. I'll tell you, I'm going to give you reasons why I asked you to do that. See, traditionally, this Shastram is not available. All this Zoom and all is very, very non-traditional. My teachers don't like this kind of settings, even though my teachers also have started teaching on Zoom, okay? Okay, because that is now part of our life. It's very convenient, but it's highly non-traditional. The traditional way of learning is, Shankaracharya says, Jnanam Sannyasa Lakshanam. He says, if you want to know the Shastra, you have to take to sannyasa. Straight away he jumps. He says, Grasthas, you have to just say, I am going to go take sannyasa, period. That's how it used to be those days. My father used to tell me stories that their grandparents just walked away from home. Say, I'm leaving, Tata, bye-bye, I'm going to Rishikesh. That's it. They'll all cry and everything will open. Hugging and all will happen. Like they do in the airport. Those days, they'll just go away, just leave. But today, it's not like that. Okay? And so we are making some compromises. Already we are making compromises, okay, by coming on a Zoom session like this. I spend a lot of time on every class, and I'm teaching other classes, I'm attending other classes, and I'm doing what I have to do throughout the day. And so I'll give you some reasons, okay? Reason number one. Suppose I turn off my video, okay, and I keep talking. 1 hour class, right? I keep talking. Huh? And the invisible guru, and then invisible guru is talking, right? It won't cut it. You won't buy this idea, right? It won't work. So my first idea is fairness. Fairness. If you want to see me, I have the right to say, guys, I also want to see you. Because a teacher, a teacher really cannot teach without making eye contact with the student. Simple, fairness. Second reason, psychological connection happens when the eyes meet. Okay, even though we are miles apart, thanks to this technology, it is allowing us to. I am seeing not you, but your image. You are seeing not me, but my image. Still, we are saying, okay, it's a reasonably good approximation. It's an approximation, right? Reasonably good approximation. Still, I'm able to manage, and not bad. I'm able to benefit from this dialogue. Okay, I can say that. Okay, that's why we're all able to spend an hour. To spend an hour in this day and age, leaving everything out is just next to impossible. So therefore, it's a big blessing to be here. So that psychological connect. You want to see there is some body language here. I'm watching your body language as I speak. You're watching my body language. That can't happen without this ability to see each other. Okay, that's reason number 2. Okay, reason number 3. Okay, suppose I've been teaching now for 4, 5, 6 years, and my students have recorded videos of my talks. And suppose you all come here, all the new students have come here. Okay, I see some names. Sushmita is there, and Kalpana is there. Suresh. There are some few people who are new. I think Sukumaran is there, and Kumar Shanti is there. Some names I see. Okay, suppose you come today, and then you know what? Our Maheshi introduced me, and then suddenly they play a video of my teaching Bhagavad Gita chapter 13. I did some years ago, and they're playing a video. What will happen? Will that be acceptable? It won't be acceptable. You know why? You will begin to think, is this what I signed up for this thing for? So they are playing a video of some Guruji. Is that it? No, it won't cut it. It won't cut. Okay. Or suppose I read a book. There is a book. Yeah, there are thousands of books on Bhagavad Gita, and a lot of texts are there. And I keep some book in front of me, and then I keep on reading it. Keep on reading it. Is that acceptable to you? Not acceptable. Why? Hey, I didn't sign up. Even I could. You give me the book. Why should I come to this class and then hear somebody repeating this? I don't know. That's why children in a school, in a class, when they have people who are reading from textbooks, that is not called teaching at all. That's called boring, not teaching. That's called lullaby. It's called putting people to sleep, not teaching. And some teachers do this. Very, very sad to send children to such kind of teachers. Okay. So not acceptable to you, correct? Okay. Or suppose I say, these days there is chat GPT. And so simply we type, teach me Bhagavad Gita chapter 13. Chat GPT will come up with all kinds of text. And then I will put a machine, and then the machine will just simply read the text. You can even choose the voice. You want an Indian voice? You want a masculine voice? Feminine voice? You want a Caucasian voice? You want a brunette voice? You want a man, woman? And it will, I'm sure if the machine is not already there, it must be coming shortly. Okay. And then you combine chat GPT and this, and then there you go. And then image synthesizing will also be there. What kind of image do you want? You want a sannyasi image, Swami image? You want a young man image? Young lady image? Everything can be artificially created, and you have an artificial Bhagavad Gita chapter 13. Hey, that's a great idea. Now I'm giving myself so many ideas. It won't be acceptable to you, right? Okay. So the need to see a live person is so important. So important. And therefore, if you want to see a live person, why should I see a black box, my dear friends? And my father will ask me after the class, how was the class? I'm taking care of, they're all seniors here. They'll ask me, how was the class? I saw 25 black boxes today. Class was very good. And who attended? Who attended means 25 people attended. I told you, no, who are they? I mean, they're retired people, senior people. Where are they attending from? Are they at home? I don't know, because it's all black box. So black box will not cut it. Correct. We need to see some live action here. And so for a teacher, I want to also see your face, and there is some originality, some liveliness, right? If you shake your head like this to something, I say, hey, that's great. That's my reward. That's the reward I get for my teaching. My 1 hour I spent 3 hours yesterday thinking about this class. 4 hours I spent. What should I talk? How should I start? How should I end? I spent 4 hours. So that's my reward. Just that you shake your head, or you say like this, or you say like this, or like this. That's my reward. Correct? That's a reward. And so that's reason number 3. I've got 2 more reasons. I'm not done yet. Okay. 4th reason. We start this class with a prayer. Okay, very important prayer. Meaning prayer is important. Okay, okay. Shastram teaching is not easy. Shastram understanding is not easy. No need to take anything for granted. We don't take anything for granted. Even the best teacher who has studied all the Upanishads should not take anything for granted. That's why we chant the mantra Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhavatu. You know what it says? Saha now Bhunaktu. Saha means Saha. May he indeed protect both of us. That is the meaning of that statement. Protect both of us means what? Both of whom? The teacher and the student. Each of us is chanting for ourselves. Okay, teacher and may he protect both of us. Means teacher and you are praying for you and me. I am praying for me and you. Why? Sahabi. Sahanau Bhunaktu. Because that is the nature of this subject. It is true for any subject. Any subject, it's true. But here it's even more because it's transitioning from Dharmartha Kama to Moksha. It is transitioning from a God that's out there to a God that is all pervasive. And it's going to say God and Jiva are essentially identical. This is not going to be an ordinary journey. Therefore, it is called what? Pujita Vicharaha. Vicharaha means inquiry. That's what we are going to do. It's called Pujita Vicharaha, sacred, prayerful inquiry. Reason number 4. Okay. Satisfied? Not satisfied? Another reason I'll give you. 5th reason. 5th reason is what?
Exchange of views.
If I turn off this video like this, guess what? I can do whatever I want here because nobody is watching me. I can check my WhatsApp messages. Yeah, there is my phone also very nearby. We can't be too far away from the phone anyway. And I can check my WhatsApp messages. I can check with my family members, what they are doing. Okay. Hey, Vikram, have you done that? Wear the shoes. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Did you pack your lunch? I kept it there on the table. Okay, yeah, good. So 5 more minutes. Okay. The bus is coming. Because we have, sorry, what happened to the video? So there is so much activity going on. This one disadvantage of the Zoom is we are all in our homes, which means what? Our problems are very much there. We are in the midst of all our demands. At least if we go to a temple or if you go to a hall, if you go to some neighbor's place somewhere, we are at least temporarily away from those problems, correct? Temporarily away. Go to your neighbor's place and sit and talk to them. You are not thinking about all your problems. You're something. There is a topic you want to talk. You go to the temple, temporarily all the problems are. I'll go home and worry about all of that. Now I'm just going to do namaskar. I'm going to chant a few shlokas and I'm going to just watch Shiva or Ganesha or Devi and I want to do that. That's it. Temple, we don't do anything else. But the disadvantage of the Zoom session is we are right in the midst of everything that's going on because people are not going to adjust just because I have a class here. Because they have so many things to do. Children have things to do. Husband, wife have things to do. Parents have things to do. Grandchildren have things to do. Grandchildren, that's another thing. Constantly running around. And so there are many people in our class who have grandchildren. So it's amazing. They're all attending. So 5th reason. What is the 5th reason? Risk of loss of focus. Very high. Correct? Very high. And then I'll give you one more reason. Okay? Think about it. When you are there in this class, you are expecting something from this class. Okay? You're expecting something. You have an idea what I want to learn from here. I want you to go home. And at the end of 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, I want you to say, yes, I'm getting something out of this class. Yes, after a year, I want you to say, yeah, my life is getting transformed. Yes, my vision is dramatically changing. I want you to say that. So that puts a lot of responsibility on me. I take a lot of that responsibility. I hold myself personally accountable for this class. Okay? And And I give you the right to ask me questions. I don't put boundaries on these questions. Ask my friends, and they will not. There are no boundaries on these questions. I might say, no, that's that. How about politics? Will a BJP win in India? If you ask, okay, that's offline. That's offline discussion. It has nothing to do with the Shastram. Yeah, whatever little I know, I might share. We might talk. Some small talk we can have. Okay, we'll do that. But I allow you to ask questions. And so I take a lot of responsibility for this class. And so, and all that won't work if my video is off. If I'm not even visible to you, then this thing will not work. Therefore, if I have given you so much right, if I have taken on so much responsibility, can I not ask you to give me the right to see you? 6 reasons I've given. It's already 7:40 here. Is that enough? Oh, anyway, that's why I want you to keep your video feeds on. Occasionally, you have times when you might say, I'm not in a position. My students are very devoted students, and they say, I got a message yesterday. I'm going to Tirupati, Guruji, and so I'm traveling. And so, is it all right if I don't keep my video on? See, my students are so devoted. They are going to Tirupati and they're also listening to Shastra with double bonus. My God, these students are even I was not that devoted, And so, okay, I said, fine. If you have to keep your video off, fine. Be careful. Definitely, if you're driving to Tirupati, you should not be listening to this class. And all this video off on business shouldn't even arise. You just focus on the driving. However interesting these classes are, you should not put yourself in an unsafe situation, correct? And just don't worry about this class. That's the right thing to do. And so those are the reasons. And so send me a note if you are unable to do it. I mean, this is a group here. We want to see each other. You look at the satsangs and all, we have a very healthy dialogue. Many people believe it or not, people are calling in from various parts of the world. They have come and seen me also. We've met in Bangalore last few months ago. It was a meeting of onliners. Meeting of onliners. It's so interesting it is. So, come to Coimbatore, we'll meet. Okay. So it's a real, by the way, this is a real class. Okay. These are not video, these are not laser images. This image that you're seeing is not a laser images of Guruji and all. No, I'm still sitting. After this, I have to go. Father is calling me and I have some duties to do. Okay. So we're all real people with real problems and leading real lives in real places. And so nothing to worry. Okay. This is it. And I want all of you to relax, all the new students. Of course, we'll have quizzes and mid-semester exams and end-semester exams. And what will happen if you fail these exams and all, I will tell you in the next class. Everybody's laughing. No. There are no quizzes. There are no exams. There are no mid-semester exams. There is no grading. Nothing happens in this class. We want to have a solid discussion. Saha Viryam Karavahai. Okay. Viryam Tejasvi Navadhitam Astu. May our study be brilliant. That's our guide. Tejasvi Bhavatu. Adhitam means may our study be brilliant. Means what? Any doubts are there? Get it clarified. If I can't clarify your doubt, I will immediately call Swamiji up and say, this is the question my students ask me. How do I answer this question? That's our commitment to truth. That's what keeps us going in this journey. And so I welcome all of you. And I am deeply indebted to my acharyas. And we thank all our acharyas, together your acharyas and my acharyas. And Saraswati Devi and Meda Dakshinamurti, who give us the ability to speak like this, to listen, to absorb, to grasp, and to ask questions, and then get the questions clarified. And so I'm deeply prayerfully we started. Let's end this session prayerfully. Okay. And after this session, you can stay back and we'll introduce each other. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om